Hello everybody and welcome back to StarCraft Underground. Today we are in the second paid tournament. Got a PvP for you today, down here in the bottom left. Ziggy Stardust as our blue Protoss. And up here in the top right, Harry as the red Protoss, or just Harry. Today's match going to be taking place in round 2 of the winner's bracket. First match going to be taking place on match point, as always. Brief overview of this map here. We've got a natural on the same level as the main here with a ramp just outside the natural. A third just a bit above that. And a fourth way up here in the top. On both sides of the battlefield, the interesting thing about this fourth out here is the high ground right here. That gives quite a bit of an advantage to whoever is able to secure this. They're able to choke off reinforcements down here to this bottom ramp, or even, I've seen quite a bit in this tournament now, players use this as a way to sneak past the defenses that are normally resting about right here, draw people out, and come in here and flank on this side. So, good use of the high ground right here, very important later on in the games, especially for a PvP or anything with Protoss or Terran, really, for that matter. Could be a vital strategic point on the battlefield right there. And right out of the gate, it looks like we have Harry going for a proxy gateway. Double proxy gateway. Right out of the gate. And 2 gateways. Interesting walling technique there from Ziggy. Haven't quite seen anything like that just yet. Typically, Protoss would wall with a forge and a gateway, but that's also, you also see that more so with PvZ. Don't really see Protoss walling off like this, although this small choke point right here on this map does make for unique possibilities, like such things right here. And now Harry throwing down a pylon and the natural of Ziggy. And as soon as Ziggy's scout gets up here, they should realize something is amiss here, because we are at 2.5 minutes and there is not a single pylon in this base. So at this point, Ziggy's got to be scratching their head wondering what in the heck's gonna happen here. And a shield battery gets put down now right outside the main here. One zealot on the way. The zealot's gonna clash here. Okay, so 2 zealots done now for Harry. And it looks like they're gonna be coming down here putting on some pressure now. The probe goes down. Okay, second zealot out now for Ziggy. But for some reason not engaging here. The zealot may just be trying to plug the gap right here. Okay, waiting on another one. But with the proxy gateways and the shield battery right here, Harry is very dug in at this moment. This is going to be very hard for Ziggy to get out of this. So Ziggy attempted to use the gateways right here to kind of plug the hole, and you can see the Zealot's just going to stand here and deny entry into the main here, while Ziggy's going to try to finish up a few more Zealots and then pounce to attack. Well, the problem is, now that Ziggy's fighting in such a narrow passage like this, it's going to be very difficult to get all these Zealots out and on top of one another to be able to target down some Zealots. And the shield battery right here coming into play very big here for Harry. As you can see, Harry was able to pull the Zealots back up here. They got recharged, coming right back in. And once this gateway goes down, that's going to be a disaster for Ziggy, who now is outnumbered with Zealots. And Ziggy's Zealot's going to drop pretty quickly now. Okay, so Harry going to recharge the Zealots. And Ziggy now trying in survival mode, trying to put down their own shield battery with a photon cannon in behind, but it looks like the damage probably already done at this point right here. Zealots are in the main now, and I think this game is going to come to an early end here. Probes are going to be pulled out of the main and then attempt to try to cause some confusion here and try to protect the Zealot, who has only 1 Zealot now with the shield battery. Doing as best as it can, but it goes down. And this game definitely going to go to Harry here in game number 1. Just a matter of waiting on the GG now at this point. What an interesting tactic here. And match number 1 between these 2 players. A double, there it is. A double gate Double proxy gate rush from Harry in match number 1 right here. Crazy opening. Crazy. Today's match, like I said, going to be coming in here at round 2 between Harry and Ziggy. The winner of this going to be moving on into round 3 in the bottom bracket, where they're going to be facing off against Navani. And the loser of this matchup going to be dropping down into the loser bracket in round 1. Excuse me, where they're going to be facing off against G-Force. Let's go ahead and get into match 2. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Match number 2. And it was just a minute ago that I realized the 1-to-1 match score from the first match there was not correct. Ignore that. That was not the score. The score was obviously 0-0, being that that was match 1. Back to it, though. Here in the top right, as our red Protoss, Harry. And in the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, Ziggy Stardust. Second match going to be taking place on Attitude. This is a 4-player map with spawn locations in each corner. Naturals just down the ramp outside the main, with an exposed third. Players can choose to fight between the fourths and the center of each side of the map. Well, kind of center, a little offset. But there are 2 ramps going to the fourths on both sides, on all 4 of these. Here and here, here and here, and lastly, here and here. The key feature for this map, I would say, is the gigantic battlefield here right in the center of the map. So, being that this is a PvP, this particular battlefield isn't going to favor one player or another. But I would say this kind of map, I would think would favor a Zerg player, because when you have a lot of open space like this, it's easier to get a good surround against the enemy army. Whereas Protoss and Terran, who mainly focus on ranged units, Terran more so than Protoss, tend to like to fight in choke points so they can burst down people trying to funnel into them. Okay, so no cheese so far yet in the game. We've got the Cybernetics Core going down here for Ziggy. Meanwhile, Harry looks like they're going to be going into a fast expansion. So 1 gate and a 12 Nexus. As long as Harry is going to be able to protect themselves here from any type of early Zealot rush that may happen, which doesn't look like we're going to see that here from Ziggy. This will give Harry a good eco boost, being able to grab 2 base like this early on. And with the assimilator down, it looks like we will likely see Harry go straight into goons and only keep about 1 or 2 zealots here before we see the goons start to come out. So only 1 zealot in production right now, or well, 1 zealot on the battlefield for Ziggy. Okay, so we got 2 zealots for Harry. Okay, so Harry surprises me. Going to be pumping out more zealots here. The gas not quite online yet. For some reason, we are attacking the assimilator rather than mining gas from it. That's a new one. That's a new one for me. Good job, probe. Looks like Harry's scout probe just now going to be leaving the main here from Ziggy. So Harry's going to be well aware of the fact that there are goons on the battlefield at this point. And I'm waiting to see what type of build we're going to be going for here for Harry. Got 4 zealots. Here we go. 6 more zealots, or 6 zealots rather, on the battlefield now. Not a lot of army right now for Ziggy. Ziggy going to be pushing the robotics facility. We're going to have a little bit of a zealot rush here, it looks like, from Harry around the 4-minute mark. And are they going to go directly into melee weapon upgrade? Zealot gets into the main, or to the natural here. But it will eventually get cleaned up. Meanwhile, I'm more curious to see how this is going to go right here. We got two goons blocking the ramp right here, so only a couple Zealots going to be able to get in top. But unfortunately, Ziggy backs them up, and that allows the Zealots into the main. Gonna try to micro these Zealots down. And with only one gateway producing right now, we've got one more coming up right now. So Ziggy just trying to buy some time and micro these Zealots as best as they can right now. Going to be trying to use this mineral line here to their advantage. One more goon gets done. This is not game ending. This is just going to do some eco damage here more than anything else. This Zealot will get cleaned up here. And meanwhile, we just don't like this assimilator. I don't know what the deal is with that, but that assimilator, gone. Destroy it. Oh, I see what happened here. It took me that long to realize that was not Harry's assimilator. That was an assimilator by Ziggy. I was trying to find the blue on the minimap right there, thinking that it was a unit behind there, but it turns out Ziggy was somehow able to sneak and put down an assimilator in the main of Harry. And that was unchallenged there for a little while. And completely caught me off guard. I had no idea. My gosh, you guys are probably sitting there yelling at me like, hey, idiot, that's not his assimilator. Okay, it's all good. We're here now. We've got Reavers on the way for Ziggy. Another gateway just about done here for Harry. Looks like we're going to be putting some photon cannons for some static defense here at the natural of Harry. Both players kind of feeling each other out a little bit right now. We've got Zealots that are about to be back into the main here. We'll be finding a Dragoon. But I'm waiting to see if that's going to trigger a retreat from Ziggy. Does not look like it is right now. Ziggy still has their Dragoons up here, parked outside. And that's going to give these Zealots a little bit of free reign right here. One Dragoon just about done at this point. And it looks like it was rallied to the top there. The Reaper gets done. Dragoon's still not engaging up there for Harry. And these Zealots actually getting a lot of value right now. You can see the worker count has pretty well plummeted for Ziggy. We're 35 to Ziggy's 18. So now Harry really is going to have a big eco advantage right now with the expansion into the second, into the natural early on like that. And now, not only that, but now Ziggy down half of the worker count of Harry. Well, more than half of the worker count of Harry. So this second match, not looking so good so far for Ziggy, but not out of it yet by any means necessary. Let's see what's going on up here. A lot of goons building up on both sides. 7 and 7. And we've got a Reaver arriving in the shuttle. And it has Scarabs ready. Let's see if this Scarab's going to be used to take shots at these photon cannons here. Target's down, one goon. We've got Templar Archives right now being warped in for Harry. More Reavers. Goon range coming in for Harry. And let's see what the answer here is going to be from Harry. Templar Archives just about done here. And if we see the Citadel of Adun come out, I'm not sure that that's how effective that's going to be entirely for DTs at this point. Ziggy already has the robotics facility down and would just have to build the observatory. Good pressure right here from Ziggy, though. With less than half the worker count of Harry, Ziggy actually able to put some pressure on Harry's natural right here, dealing some damage. And the probes get pulled off, so this is lost mining time now. This is a big deal for Ziggy. This Reaver really coming into play right now. Doesn't seem like Harry has an answer for it just yet. And it does seem like a DT is going to be the play. Observatory was not constructed yet. The shuttle is gone. So this Reaver going to get dropped now. The DT is here. And now is Harry's time to push out and advance. And the DT going to be following the Dragoons back now. We've got the Reaver done. The Observatory is on the way. But a little bit, maybe a little bit of an oversight here, but no photon cannons whatsoever here for Ziggy. That DT could have just came right on down here and had a good lunch until this observer was able to get warped in. So a little bit of a missed opportunity there for Harry, but all in all, not too bad off. Lost a little bit of mining time there. The photon cannons were knocked out. All in all, though, still doing okay. Ziggy just having a hard time catching up in worker count, though. That's definitely going to make an impact. The longer this game goes, the more of an impact on eco we are going to see there. Until Ziggy's able to get the natural up and going here, it is pretty late for a natural to be coming in right now. Almost the 11-minute mark. And I would like to see... I would have liked to have seen maybe some photon cannons down here, since we know that there's DTs on the battlefield, but the observer is just about done. So I don't think there's anything lost there. Looks like these goons trying to run down a shuttle out here with a Reaver in it. Okay, so the observer going to be moving out on the battlefield with these goons. We've got storms, melee weapons being researched right now for Harry. Observer movement speed. And Reaver and Goon being worked on right now for Ziggy. So the DT gets busted down there pretty quickly. And it looks like this Goon just trying to watch where the shuttle's going. Probably to... Yeah, so Harry's spread out the Goons here. Probably trying to prevent any type of shenanigans where this Reaver might come in here and drop some shots onto this mineral line where all these probes are. So the Reaver back on the front line of the battlefield now. This thing going to start taking shots now. Ziggy going to be doing a good job here, or trying to do a good job here of picking up and dropping that Reaver. The shuttle gets a little far out there, though, and gets targeted down. And Ziggy just goes ahead and calls it right there. So GG. Harry going to be walking away with this one in a 2-0 victory. That kind of surprised me a bit there. I guess Ziggy might have just been aware of the loss in economy there and just kind of seen where that match was going. Didn't really feel like it was going to be going that well for them. And so just taps out. So Harry going to be advancing on into round 3, where they're going to be facing Navani. And Ziggy drops down into round 1 of the losers bracket, where they're going to be facing off against G-Force. That's it for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And if you're interested to see more from this tournament, check out the next video. Or if you're interested in taking part in a tournament or just want to become a member of our community, join us in StarCraft Underground. Until then, take it easy.